and it's technically, I would call this an official unboxing of the We Are Memory Keepers button press. All I did was take it out the box and pull off the plastic bubble wrap. When you actually purchase this memory press, the button press, this particular item is not on there, I guess to make it easier for shipping. So this is the handle for the button press. Going to assume, even though I haven't read the directions, pretty safe in saying that you just screw this part on the top. I actually ordered this bundle from HSN, and so I like it because it includes kind of like a tip of this is everything that's inside. I had actually been looking for a button press for a while. I looked on Amazon, and for like a single size, like medium standard size, it was running about $100. This particular package on HSN previewed for, I think it was like $99 even, but of course, you know, there's taxes and shipping. But what attracted me to this particular button press compared to the other ones on Amazon and other places that I researched is the fact that you were getting 3 different sizes. So there is I'm not sure which one is which completely. I think this is considered the small. This is going to be the medium. And then there's a large. These extra dies actually help you cut your button, what you're going to put on the insert of your button, into the nice circle shape. So I'm going to take a pause and unpack this. It also came with the small buttons as well, and some of the medium-sized buttons. This piece right here is foam. I don't know that I'll use this much, but I think the whole concept from what I've seen on the internet is that you can take these and still make like that button shape, but then put it like in a 3D format to put on cards and things like that. I do some card making, but I'm not that into that piece. I really bought it to actually make buttons. So let's get this unwrapped. Read the directions because of course, if you have ordered anything from We Are Memory Keepers, you know that there are lots of moving parts, so it's important to read the directions. And then, of course, I can already see there like some different guidelines of how you line things up just so. So let's get that out and try to make a button. Hey, Bells. So probably, in truth, 24 hours has passed since I've taken the We Are Memory Keepers button press out of the package, and I've kind of laid out everything. I will be quite honest, it took me 6 tries to get one semi-decent, semi-okay, I would wear, but I'm definitely not giving it away or even thinking about selling it, pen. I started with a small pen. One of the things I really do appreciate is the fact that everything is color coded. So these 2 white pieces are what we call like your cutting board to cut your circle stamp. I'm going to show you how that works in a minute. The pink, everything here, including this top piece, which is the cutter to create the circle that you're going to use in your button press. This is for the small buttons. The kind of like a mint green, if you will, would be the medium-sized buttons. And then this darker green kind of teal color is for the large buttons. And so when they packaged everything, they also packaged the buttons to match each size. Inside of each of these items, you get 3 pieces to make your button. And so one of them is this little clear piece. Hopefully you can see this. But this is like that top layer that covers whatever you decide to create your button with. And then of course you get the pin back and the button piece that kind of layers your button. Now this is the piece that I kept inserting into the button press wrong, which is why my buttons were not coming out correctly. So let's get started with making a button. This is the medium-sized button. So the first thing you want to do if you do not have a shape cut out, which I actually have some cut out, but I do want you to be able to see this, is you need to line up the cutting pieces. And so when you're looking at your machine, right now for this particular piece, it won't matter, but there's actually some A and B steps that have to happen. Otherwise, your button will not come out right. This bottom part swivels out. And with this paper, the one thing I really discovered that I really appreciate with this, especially being like a crafter and making cards, or like even if you're scrapbooking, since this space right here is kind of small, it works really great to use your leftover pieces that you may have from making cards or scrapbooking to turn them into buttons, especially if the scrapbook paper is really, really nice. This particular paper that I have is not even double-sided. I'm just using one side scrapbook paper because that's all you're going to see with the buttons. So that's a really, really nice feature. So since I'm going to be working with the medium tool, you want to, whatever your design is, line it up where you want your piece to cut. And so in the 24 hours that I've been playing with this, I've also been involved in a lot of chat groups, and many people were saying the smaller die works better. We Are Memory Keepers kind of put a tip out saying that the larger the die piece under here where you're getting ready to cut, you have to kind of push down in maybe more than one place to make sure that you get a complete circle. And in actuality, many crafters, myself included, mention that they'll probably just use like their Cricut or Silhouette machine or something to go ahead and just cut out their circles, because you can cut out more than one circle. So if you're going to be bulk making like a simple stamp, because maybe you want to send 2 of your friends the same thing, it may be easier to do it that way. The one thing with the handle I have figured out is that it definitely takes 2 hands to get the press. Now there is a clicking sound that's supposed to happen when the circle punch is completely cut out. I will be quite honest with you. Out of the times that I've tried this, and I've tried this quite a few times, I've only heard that sound like 3 times. Now, what I have been able to do is, if my circle didn't cut out completely, like on purpose, I didn't cut this one out completely, the lines are there to where I can take my scissors and cut this out. I'm not actually using this one. I just wanted to show you that particular piece. So to get ready for button making, first thing you have to do after you have your circle is remove the stamp. And then from there, I'm going to use the medium because I'm going to make a medium button. You have 2 different pieces. So the piece with the bottom that kind of pushes down, this is what is going to go in the bottom to kind of hold your thing in place. And there's a snap click that happens. And once you're there, you'll see the letters A and B. Your very first thing that you do, you want this one and the top one to be on the letter A. And so when I was first using it, I thought that this should stay up tight, the magnet piece. It doesn't actually stay there. It's supposed to slide down. That way you can turn it around. So I'm turning this to A. And before I line up everything, I'm going to make sure that everything says A just like I want it to. And it does. So to get ready to stamp, the very first thing you're going to do is place the shell without the pin flat. And this is a key because there's like this little edges that push down. I was flipping this. Make sure those are pushing up. And then from there, you're going to layer whatever circle or whatever scrapbook piece. Last night when I used it, I was actually using a double layer of a design. So what I'm going to do for this, now that I have that, there are 2 notches to let you know where to layer your design. And for this particular one, I'm just going to put a sticker in the middle so that I have a very kind of cute girly girl pin once it's done. And then you'll take the top part. This little piece is actually optional, so they say. To me, I feel like it's a nice layer of added protection, just because it's a little plastic. So if you're using paper on your pen, if you go outside and it's a rainy day and it's paper, that's going to get wet and mushy. So to me, even though I know they say it's optional because this kind of adds a glossy look to it, I don't feel like it's optional. I feel like it's definitely a need. So once you have your sticker lined up, your button, your scrapbook paper lined up exactly like you want, you will then move this, and from there, make sure the A's are still lined up and push up. So when you go to remove it, you'll see that the button is no longer in here because the housing piece at the top is holding it in place so that you can add the pin. At this point, you have a choice. You can go ahead and move the letters to B, or you can stick the pin in and then move the letters to B. I prefer to make sure I go ahead and put my B where I want it to be. If you don't do that, you run the risk of, once your pin is out, having the pin back not line up with the way you want your button to go. And the pin portion, the part that would stick on your shirt or on your book bag or wherever you want to stick your pin, should go towards the bottom. I accidentally just moved this. So again, I just want to make sure my beads are lined up before I press, because once I press, it's a one and done thing. So I have it in place. And the lever doesn't go all the way down. So I'm still kind of working through how I feel like I know I've applied enough pressure. If for some reason I come through this and the pin didn't take, I can always move it back under here and push it again. And it actually looks like it worked perfectly. Go figure. So truthfully, this is probably like the best pen that I've gotten so far. Again, this was scrapbook paper, a sticker from another piece of scrapbook item that I had that I really wanted to keep. I didn't want to just throw this sticker away because I like the saying. And then I have the perfect button. So hopefully this was helpful for you. Again, I really do appreciate the fact that at least for the price, you're getting the option to use 3 different size buttons, small, medium, and large. I do know that they're coming out with a few other things like bobby pins, keychains, and things like that, but those pieces aren't necessarily for sale. So what else should we make with this? Do you think you're getting one? Comment below. As always, stay fabulous, Bells.